everybody, welcome to the 𝐂𝐸 Way. I'm Jessica, and today's video is going to be about the biggest mindset shift that I have had as a homeschool parent. We have been homeschooling for going on 9 years, and this is the one thing that changed kind of everything in our homeschool. It has been more impactful than all of the schedules, all of the routines, all of the curriculum, and even the books and the games. Even though you guys know how much I love those, it was the mindset shift that I had that just kind of like was an epiphany. So when we first started homeschooling, I constantly was feeling like we were behind. Emily wasn't keeping up. We weren't on track. I was checking the boxes. I'm very type A. I love a checkbox. Like, oh, I love me a checkbox. So I wanted to check all of the boxes off. It just kind of felt like we were like running a race. I was like constantly comparing to everybody else. Were we behind? Was Emily where she was supposed to be? Was she on track? Were we completing the lessons? Was the curriculum finished? Like, that was 100% my mindset when we first started homeschooling. And it felt like if we weren't doing those things, if we weren't checking the boxes, if we didn't finish the curriculum, if she wasn't keeping up or even ahead, because even like when she was like on the right level, I still felt like, oh, well, we should be ahead. We could be doing more. You know, it wasn't enough. I wasn't doing enough. She wasn't doing enough. I just constantly wanted to be doing more until one day in the middle of a math lesson, because it is always math, you guys, when her and I were both in tears, and it just kind of dawned on me, what is the point? Like, what is the point of being ahead or not behind or on track or keeping up with whoever or checking this math box today? Like, is it really important enough? Do I really care this much about checking this box to cause both of us to have a meltdown, to butt heads, or to be in tears? Like, does it really mean, at the end of the day, does it really mean that much to me? And the answer was definitely not. And that's when I realized that homeschool is a marathon, not a sprint. As homeschoolers, we have 365 days in the year, not 180 like most public schools. We also have 12 to 18 years, depending on when you start homeschooling and how long you homeschool, to get it done. It is a marathon. It's not a sprint. If you miss math today, oh well, you can make it up tomorrow. Like, it's fine. When the tears start, close the book. Don't keep pushing. If you don't check that box today, it's okay. You can check it tomorrow. There is so much more time in like the grand scheme of things that it doesn't have to be this rush. You don't have to worry about being behind or keeping up. And to those questions, behind who? Keeping up with who? I mean, are we comparing our homeschool kids to the public school kids? Because for the most part, most of us pulled our kids because we didn't want them either in that environment or to keep up with them, or we wanted something different. So then why are we comparing our kids to them in the first place if that's not what we wanted for them? Or check boxes. Like, who is going to come look at those check boxes? Who is going to come at the end of 180 days and say, here is your certificate, Jessica, because you completed 180 days of math curriculum with your daughter? Nobody. Nobody's going to come give me an award for that. But you know what? At the end of 180 days, Emily might tell me, Mom, that was the best homeschool year we've had. Or I learned this, and this year. Or like, I would rather have that award anyway. So why wasn't I homeschooling that way? Why was I homeschooling with check boxes and worried about being behind and all of this? Homeschool is a marathon, not a sprint. That is the mindset shift that changed my entire perspective when it comes to homeschooling. What that mindset shift did for our homeschool is that it put less pressure on us and it gave us more joy. I didn't feel the pressure to get 8 subjects a day in, or to check all the boxes, or to make sure that we did math and language arts and geography and history and science just because some other homeschooler was doing 8 subjects in a day, or because the public school down the street did 8 subjects in a day. Instead, I was able to have more joy in our days, and I was also able to make homeschool look different. Like, it didn't need to be a workbook. It could be a game, or it didn't need to be a checkbox. It could be reading a book. Or we could just not do it at all because maybe it didn't fit into our day, or maybe it really didn't fit into the plans that I had for Emily and for her future. Like, does she really need to know how to diagram a sentence? That's something that I learned in school that I have not used one time. Does that mean I'm against diagramming sentences? Nope. But there have been language arts curriculums that we've dabbled with that have done it, and I'm like, nope, we can skip that lesson. Like, I no longer feel the need to check that box just to check it, because it's not something that was important to me to teach her. And I now feel the freedom, which is fantastic, because freedom is the greatest part of homeschooling, to skip that lesson or to just not do it. It also means that now I plan in rhythms or blocks instead of schedules. I don't sit down and say, okay, we're going to do this, 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 and this. I'm like, hey, this is going to be kind of our rhythm for the day, and this would be kind of fun to do, and here's like a buffet of learning, and let's pick and choose what's going to work for us today, or what you might be interested in, instead of saying like at 8 o'clock we're going to do math, and at 9 o'clock we're going to do science, and at 10 o'clock we're going to do language arts. That is not how we plan anymore, which means that we have more freedom in our days. We have more time to allow for rabbit trails, which is hands down my favorite part of homeschooling. I love, love, love when we can expose Emily to a topic and end up down this glorious rabbit trail that is never anything I would have planned. Like, I personally would have sat down and planned, and somehow all of us have learned something from it. And because it was an interesting rabbit trail, it is facts that stick. Like, they do not go anywhere. It's things that Emily will never forget. I never have to worry about like backsliding and it going backwards and her forgetting it and not remembering it. It is my favorite part. Like, if there was a way to write in my planner, go down a rabbit trail today, to put a checkbox by it, that would be the first thing that I would write, because that is my favorite part of homeschooling, is when it happens. But you can't plan for those. And if your day is scheduled because you're checking the boxes and you're worried about being behind and you're running the sprint and not the marathon, then you're not going to have time or make time or allow those rabbit trails to happen, which I'm telling you are so, so glorious. So that blank space needs to be there. And by having that mindset of it's a marathon, not a sprint, you would be okay with not doing maybe what you originally thought you were going to do that day, and to have that white space for those rabbit trails. If you're feeling pressure in your homeschool, that is just what I wanted to remind you, is that it's a marathon, not a sprint. If you're feeling that pressure in your homeschool, like I did when we first started homeschooling, I just wanted to give you some encouragement that it is a marathon, it's not a sprint. There is time. You don't have to worry. Like, I remember sitting in the bedroom almost in tears when Emily was probably 6 or 7, and like having there's no way I can teach her everything that she needs to know moment, like freaking out. And here's the thing, I was right. Like, I'm never going to be able to teach her everything that she needs to know, but I can slow down and I can enjoy the process, and I can teach her the basics so that when she needs to know something else, she knows how to go out and find the answer and to figure it out and to teach herself. And so I think that was like the biggest part of it, is if I just slow down and take a breath and remember that I have all the time in the world, and it's impossible to teach her all the things anyway, and to just enjoy the marathon, because this isn't a race. There's not a finish line. There's not a, you finished first or you finished better or faster. Like, that's not what this is about. And for me, what I want when we do cross the homeschool is over finish line, isn't to have checked all the boxes, isn't to have sprinted through the subjects. I want to have raised somebody who loves learning, and who looks back on her homeschool years with fondness, with like, I enjoyed that time with you and with Dad, and I enjoyed the learning. Not somebody who's looking back like, man, that was stressful. We were rushing through the subjects, and math caused us tears every time we sat down to do it, and we never connected. Like, that's not what I want. And so if that's not what you want either, I just want to encourage you that there's time. You're doing enough. Slow down, take a breath, and remember that homeschool is not a race. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and you don't have to rush. I would love to hear your biggest mindset shift as a homeschool parent. Let me know what yours was down in the comments.